going, everybody? So today it is January 23rd here in South Central Wisconsin, and today I'm going to introduce you guys to a new series that I'm going to be doing on the YouTube channel, and that is Project 30. So some pretty exciting news. This last fall, my family and I bought an additional 80 acres that joins in with my parents' 52 acres right behind their house. So pretty excited today. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an overview of what my plans are here out on the 30, just to give you a little bit of oversight. So you can see where I'm at here. So down here, the trees, cattails, a lot of that marsh down there. You can see where the water is. So that's my parents' 52 acres. What we bought was an 80-acre portion, like I said. 30 acres of that 80 is adjacent to my parents. So right here's my parents, and I'm standing right now on part of the 30. And you can see this tripod stand here below me. These trees, this grassy area, this field that I'm in. There's a ditch that kind of runs right down by these trees, and then all this white out here. It's all area that I burned this year, all the way up next to the road here. Kind of wraps around the corner and heads up to that single tree over there. Sure if you guys can see that or not, but I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an overview on what my projects are going to be out here this year. So ride along in the Kubota, stay a little warmer, and kind of show you guys what we're thinking. Alright, so try to give you guys a rundown here. Try to make this a short video because there's going to be a lot of videos following this. But just to give you an overview, like I said, we bought 80 acres. 50 of it is across the road. So I was up on that hill, just on the other side of that. That 50 acres is basically designated for pheasant hunts. So my parents own and operate a pheasant farm here. And then my parents and I and my wife, we run a fish farm here as well. So the 50 acres that we bought, it basically gives another portion for the pheasant hunters to hunt. So this 30-acre portion here, which is adjacent to my parents, so I'll kind of give you a little bit of a view here. Actually, I'll turn the camera around. Don't need to see my mug, but so down there, all that canary grass, on the other side, all this wood laying down, that is my parents. So there's about, I'd say, roughly a 300-yard stretch here, where this new 30-acre piece butts up to the parents' original, we'll call that the 52. So the 30 butts up to the 52, roughly 300 yards there. And yeah, so this 30-acre portion here, about half of it, so 15 acres of it is tillable, and 15 acres of it is low ground. You kind of see it's tilled back behind me here. But what this does is this tillable kind of follows the edge of this 30. Kind of runs along the bottom side, and it comes up this edge to the north, the west edge of the property. And what I've done is I've taken out 5 acres of this tillable land, and I'm creating it for better habitat for not only deer but pheasants, because this will be an area where pheasant hunters will hunt too come December 1st. At least for the next few years. We'll see how things go. Eventually it might just be strictly for deer, but got to pay the bills somehow. So what I have here along this tillable edge here, the west edge, is I have a thin strip. It's maybe 30 yards wide, 20 yards wide that I've taken for access. So along that edge, I'm going to probably plant corn. I don't normally like to plant food for a screen for deer. I usually hate doing that, but I think I'm going to plant corn this year just for, it gives that little bit of extra pheasant cover. It's a little more area to hide birds. And then coming up into this bottom portion of this 5 acres on the 30 here is going to be corn as well. So big project that I'm taking on this year, kind of going right along the edge. Along the edge is making 2.5 acres of this into switchgrass. So kind of walk over here. It's tough to see. So right here, this is the 5-acre portion that I've leased. It's kind of hard to tell. Obviously, we're up on a hill here, but maybe you can see that stake there. But that's kind of the edge where it starts getting wet. And maybe what I'll do too is I'll drive the Kubota around. Kind of give you guys a little bit of an overview. It'll be a lot easier in spring. But so what I'm going to do here is basically from where I'm standing about a little bit further down, everything up here to my left and up over this hill, over where the Kubota and then going over the hill is going to all be switchgrass. So it's about a 2.5 acre plot. Pretty excited about it. I planted switchgrass in the past. I've had a heck of a time doing it just because the areas that I've planted it, it's not really cropland. It's not the greatest soil. And this area here is much better soil than what I've been planting it in, and it's also a lot higher. I've been planting a lot of switchgrass in lower areas, and I've been having luck with it, but it definitely takes longer to establish. So this 2.5 acre portion, pretty excited about. So yeah, so right here I'll be in all switchgrass. See, I got this stand right here. I just put that out. We bought the property in October. So me and a buddy, we sat in there, actually ended up shooting a doe opening morning of gun season out here. But that'll certainly move. That's just a temporary thing for this last year. But what this is going to be too, on the bottom side, east side of this switchgrass, is I'm going to put a strip of summer food, kind of a soil builder. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to plant yet, but there's a roughly, I'm not even sure, it's probably, I'd say 150 yards long. Well, maybe not even that, maybe 100, 120 yards long, maybe 30, 40 yards wide will be food, a strip of food. And like I said, that'll be some sort of soil builder. And then from there, I'll probably kill that off late summer, and then I will plant some sort of fall blend in there, some sort of green food source, since I'll have the corn back here, and then I'll have the food, or the green source right next to it. Now on the bottom side of that, I'll walk down here. It's kind of hard to tell because we did just get a little bit of snow last night, but picture this. And while I'm doing this, I'm gonna take a video, a screen share on my laptop, kind of show you guys, trying to draw this out while I'm doing this. See if I've never done it before, we'll see how it turns out. But so right here now, so switchgrass would be up here. I'd say the switchgrass would probably start maybe a little bit up this way, 10 yards or so, maybe halfway to the Kubota. So from halfway to the Kubota to where I'm at now, and continuing down this easterly edge to roughly, I'd say here, so right where this stake is kind of the end of this field that this farmer had been working the past few years. So from here for sure, down towards these trees and then back this direction towards the corn, this will be a green food source. And what I'm going to do in this green food source this year, I doubt I'll bow hunt it, but I'd like to get a redneck blind in there. We'll see if I'm able to afford that, but I'll probably move that stand down. It will be in the south west corner of that green source. And that'll just be probably for gun season. And then from here, so it's really hard to tell, but kind of look in front of me, got some grass, and then the snow gets deep, and then you can see another little hump, that furthest hump that's maybe 15 yards away. It's basically right where I'm at here. To roughly about this area. You can see, I'm not sure if you guys can see that on the camera or not, but this is just higher elevation. So what I'm going to try and do this year is potentially get something planted in here. I'm not 100% sure. It's only, I'd say this is maybe a 15-yard strip, but it's pretty long. But I want to get something in here this fall and hopefully plant switchgrass in it next spring. Yeah, that's the plan for now. So yeah, but I was able to get out here this fall, and all this low ground here. So this low ground here is 9 acres. So it kind of goes back up here. You can kind of see, if you see it with the sun, but along the tillable, it runs along that south edge, the tillable, the hill there. And this is all low. This is about 9 acres down here. And my plan this year is I'm going to be planting putting tree tubes out here, 200 tree tubes of, it'll be streamco willows and red osier dogwood. So I've had luck planting that stuff before, but I do not have luck planting them without tubes. I've never planted the dogwood in a 5-foot tube, so I'm a little bit interested to see how that'll do this year. I think it'll do fine, but around here, if you don't tube your stuff, your trees, your shrubs, the deer absolutely destroy them. So, that, what I'm going to start here is on this top side. You can see there's a berm here. On the other side of this berm, there's a ditch, and I'll maybe cut to some videos here of some, you know, what this looked like when I was burning, but there's a ditch here, and that ditch runs basically east and west, and it hooks, and it runs to the south, and it runs back under the road. That's what splits this 30-acre portion into two, so it's like 1/3 and 2/3. The 30-acre portion that I'm focusing on this year is on the 2/3 portion. But yeah, so I'm going to start on this northern end of this, and this is going to be tree tubes. I'm going to transplant some willows, you know, some, like I said, some dogwood, streamco willows, trying to just make this thick. Now on the south end of this portion, adjacent to the other 9 acres of tillable, or 6 acres of tillable roughly, actually, excuse me, 10 acres of tillable, I'm gonna plant pines. So I'm gonna start with some thermal cover, and that's that area right down on the bottom of the hill here. So I wanna start with some white spruce. They take water a little bit better than Norway spruce, and I am gonna extend those out roughly 40 yards. I'm getting 200 of them, just gonna stagger them around out there to get some thermal cover and to get that screen. You know, I want them deer to be down here, and at some point I'll screen off that house. I'm actually planting some Norway spruces over there too, but I wanna plant it so those deer can be down in this sanctuary and not have to see the road. They won't see cars. They're gonna be down here with that big hill in the background. They won't be able to see cars there either. But I want them deer to feel safe. Now, like I stressed earlier, come December 1st, there's going to be pheasant hunters out here, so it's not going to be one of those sanctuaries where, you know, you're not stomping around in it. It's the way it is. It's from a money standpoint, that's what we have to do for right now. So, but talking long enough here, but just wanted to give you guys an overall start on what we're doing here. Spin the camera around. But yeah, so this is Project 30. Super excited to get this started. Got big plans for this year, big plans for the next few years. It's going to be a lot of work, but continue to work on the 30, continue to work on the 52, and as we get further down the line here, we'll potentially start working on the 50 across the road. But pretty excited to get this started. Like I said, it's end of January now. Praying for some warmer weather. We got a couple months yet before I can really start doing some habitat work. But it's a little bit different, you know. This property here, it's a blank slate, and I'm super excited about that. You know, I got to be careful a little bit with what I do as far as trees and whatnot, just because this is a pheasant farm yet. But overall, super stoked. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and look forward to you guys following along on this crazy journey for the next few years. Thanks, guys.